channel. My YouTube channel is called Cool2Film, COOL number 2 Film, FILM. Why is it called Cool2Film? Well, it comes from I was teaching filmmaking to high school students, and I wanted to have a channel that the high school students could put their videos on so that they were all together, right? Because I taught at multiple high schools teaching filmmaking at Leland, where else? Prospect. I taught filmmaking at Mount Pleasant, and I was teaching after school filmmaking class, and that's why I just kept it. So it's called Cool2Film. Okay, so again, we're going to be doing a paper in the MLA format. Here are the general guidelines. Let's review them. First one is, of course, you're going to do your paper in the standard 8.5 by 11 inch paper. Okay. Double space the text, or of course, the word double means 2, and so in Microsoft Word it will be 2. In a legible font, that does not mean you have to use Times New Roman. In fact, you probably might want to use something that has bigger font, like Arial or something like that. So if you need more pages, I guess teachers don't give you papers on pages anymore, do they? They get word count, right? Right. Back when I was going to school, we were using typewriters and stuff. They said you have to have 5 pages, and I was like, 5 pages, you know, because the sans serif font or something like Arial is going to give you more pages with the same font size. We'll do a little test today. I'll show you that. Okay, whatever chose MLA regular italic type and contrast, and the font should be at least 12 point. Leave only 1 space after periods or other punctuation mark, unless otherwise prompted by your instructor. No, we're going to follow that. Set the margins of your document to 1 inch on all sides. The default nowadays in Microsoft Word is about 1 inch. But if you're using the older version, if you're using Microsoft Office 97 or 2010, I believe, and then even, I don't know about 2014, but the older version, the default was 1 1/4 inch. And I have students still turn those into, they said they might have an older version. And I email them, so you probably have an older version of Word. They're like, yeah, I don't know. Just be careful. Older versions have 1 1/4 inch default margins. Indent the first line of each paragraph 1/2 inch from the left margin. MLA recommends that you use tab key as opposed to pushing the space bar 5 times. No, we don't do either one of those. We don't use the tab key or that. We're going to have Microsoft Office or Word format it properly for us by telling it to do it that way, because it's going to recognize your paragraph break and do that. How about we get started? We'll come back and we'll finish all the other requirements. So I'm going to start Word. Let's go to Word. And I'm just going to start with a blank document. Don't use the template for MLA. It's not actually perfectly correct. Okay. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my margins are at 1 inch. I know the default is. I'm just going to make sure. Again, under design, where is it? Layout, there it is. Margins right there. And make sure it says normal. Normal. And you can see it got 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. Okay. Next, we're going to look at the top. And what do we need for the top? Let's go back to our sample. I'm going to scroll on down here. You're going to put your name, my name, class name, and then look at the way the date is here. So we're going to actually put the date in. We're not going to hand do the date. We're going to actually have Microsoft Word put the date in so that every time you save it, it automatically puts the latest date in there. So that'll be done digitally through the program. So again, start off by putting your name, my name, class name in there. So there we go. Put in your name. Put in your name, not my name. It's your name. Then hit return and then put in my name. You can just use my name. Jeff Raskoff is my name. It might have a little squiggly line. We talked about spell check last class, right? Remember that? Put in the class name, CIST002, Intro to Computing. That's how you spell it. Hit return. So return at the end of each one. Now let's put in the date. Again, we're going to use Microsoft Word for the date. We're not going to hand do the date. To do that, we're going to actually go underneath the insert window, and inside the insert window there should be a one for date in here. Let's see, where is it? Date. Here it is, this one. It's this one right here. I'm sorry. It's a crazy kind of icon. I know they don't have words for certain things. You can also do it under insert, I believe, here. If you go under insert, you'll see where it says date and time. Do you see that? It's under insert as well. Date and time. If you click on that, it'll come up with what you want. Now, if you look at the MLA, I'm just going to tell you what it does. You want this one, the one that has day as a number, the month spelled out completely, and then the year afterwards. Do you see that? Here, we'll confirm that on the MLA paper. Day, month, year. Again, here we'll go back to Microsoft Word. Day, month, year. Don't give me some crazy forward slashes and things like that. I get too many of those. Try and follow this. Don't do this top one is what I'm trying to say. You know how many I get? I probably get half my papers with this one. No. Because you're so used to doing it. I understand that because I'm used to doing it too, you know. But this is the proper one right there. Just click on that. Oh, before you do that, my mistake. Let's delete that. I'm going to delete that. You can delete it if you just hit OK. Do that again. Delete that and do it again. But this time, make sure you say automatically update right there. See? Again, day, time, month, year. Look right here where it says update automatically. Do you see that? Make sure you check that before you hit OK. That way, when you save it next time, it'll automatically put the latest date in there. Then hit return with your keyboard. Okay, so we got our first top part. Yes? We were going to do that together, don't worry. Yep. None of the spacing's right. Nothing's correct right now. We're just putting things in randomly. We'll just put some stuff in and then we'll format it. Okay, but I got the top part of cool. Ready to move on? Okay, let's put in our title of our paper. The best system for, and put my name there. You can title it any way you want. Just don't make it bold. Don't make it italic. Leave it normal. I don't want bold title. You can write whatever you want. The greatest computer ever. I love Microsoft Word or Office or whatever. No, I love Windows systems. Steve Jobs is a god. Whatever title, your title is up to you. Okay. I'm just putting the best system for Jeff Raskoff. Because remember, your paper is writing what is the best computer for you. Right? And we'll talk about what to write in a little bit when we get to that point. Which we're pretty much at that point. They got that. Hit return again. Boom. Okay, next we're going to put some random text in there. So we're going to go and copy from the internet. Okay? And there is a website that has random text. Let me find it for you. It's the random text website. What is it called? We'll search. The random text website. Random text website. This one. Lipsum or whatever it's called. lipsum.com. 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 Have you find that? Okay, let's go and randomly copy some text. Try not to copy the type. You don't need that part. So I'm going to copy one paragraph by hitting highlight the text and hitting Command C for copy. Go back to your Word, and then I'm going to use paste under home. I'm going to use paste text only. No formatting. Let's hit return again, and let's do that again. Get all 4 paragraphs that you see there. You can do this one as well. All 4 paragraphs. Remember, paste, unformatted, keep text only. Boom. I'm going to get all 4 paragraphs here. Don't worry about size right now. We're not dealing with size yet. We just need some text. Unformatted. Okay, last one. Last one, last one. Last one. This one. Okay, there we go. And then save your document before you continue in case it crashes. You don't want to start over. I'm going to go under File, Save As. And let's give it a name. This is going to be Jeff's MLA template. So name it MLA template. Put it on the desktop, and then send it to yourself. I'll pause for a minute. Get to that point. Okay, next, let's start formatting now. So let's just think about what we need to do. First thing we need to do is make sure the font size is correct. Make sure we choose the appropriate font size. Also, we need to make sure the line spacing is correct, as well as the indenting of the first line of a paragraph break. Yeah, let's go and read that and make sure we understand that. So again, here we go. Double space between a title and the first line of text. We can do that. Create a header in the upper right corner. No, we're not doing that yet. Where are we? Double space again in the center of the title. Do not underline, italicize, or place your title in quotation marks. I just told you that. Right? Title in title case, which means the first word. So if you look at that, what they're talking about here is if you look at my title. Let me zoom in a little bit here. I don't know why I'm zoomed out here. So my title says the best with the capital B system. And now the word for, little words like and that things like that, you don't capitalize. But then, of course, my name I would capitalize. So what's the term I used to use for that now? Initial cap is the term for that. I don't know what they're saying there. I call that initial cap, which is each letter or each word it has in capital for the, you see what I'm saying. Okay, let's just do a little test. I'm going to show you a little test before we even do anything else as far as spacing wise. So remember, this is at 12 point, and let me even zoom out just a little bit more here. So remember, this is at 12 point, and this is at this Cabriti whatever font, whatever this is. The default font. If you click on there, let's just select all first. I'm going to hit Command A. Command A. That's Command A on the keyboard to select all. If you don't know, you can also go under Edit, and there should be a Select All right here. It's also a pull-down menu right there. And of course, when you're looking at the pull-down menu, this squiggly line that you see right here is the Command key, and Command A is Select All. So I select all. Oh, notice how the date has a different color because it has some formatting on there, so that there's programming on there, so it saves the date every time. Okay, so if I have it, let's change the font to Arial for a moment. So I'm just going to use Arial, plain Arial, regular. Arial, Arial, regular. Watch what happens to the font. It gets a little smaller. It gets a little, looks pretty ugly. Okay, let's change the font again. Let's change it to Times. Times New Roman. That would be too easy. I like to struggle. I can't even find Times. Oh, here it is. Regular. And you see how the text is changed? So Times is awful small. So if you want, you want to use something bigger. So I'm going to use Arial regular. Arial regular. Next, I'm going to go and change my formatting here. Again, you want to use left align ragged right. This is left align ragged. Remember the term ragged right? I think I told you that already. Next, you can go right here to this line right here with the arrows going up and down. This is where we tell it to be double space or the 2.0. So double space that, boom, 2.0. Next, we want to indent the first line of each paragraph break. To do that, we're going to go to the same area where we did this, but when you go to this area, go to the very bottom where it says line spacing options. Line spacing options. So if you go down there, click the line spacing options, you'll notice you have all the options that you would ever want in a paragraph break. So let's look at some of them. Again, left align is what we're doing. We're doing our body text. To indentation, you're going to come over here to, don't put it in here. Where do you want to put that indentation in this window? Did you all find this window? Yes? Okay. Under where it says special, we're going to do first line. See where it says first line? And we're going to do 0.5. It knows, it's pretty smart. It puts in the ½ inch. That's a ½ inch. When you see the 0.5, that's actually ½ inch there. And you can adjust that by hitting the arrows up and down, up and down, up and down. Next most important one here is this one right here. Don't add space between paragraphs of the same style. Check that. If you don't check that, what it does is it adds extra space between the paragraph breaks, and you get weird spacing where there's a little bit more space between the paragraphs, and it doesn't look right, and it's not the right MLA format. Here, I'll show you. Here, look at this. Look at this. Here we are. The space between this line and this line is the same between this line and this line. Right here, if you look visually right here. But if you don't check that box, this space between this line and this line would be bigger than the space between this line and this line. So what that checkbox does is make sure that all this paragraph, all the lines are exactly the same. Okay? Watch what's there's going to be a big mistake and you're going to start screaming. But don't worry, we can fix it. So if I hit OK, watch what happens. Ah! Look at the very top of my paper. So each one of those lines that we did a paragraph break up there did that. Okay. Now you could go back in time and you could quickly go up there, click your mouse right there, and then hit delete. I mean, that's one way to do it. Or if you want, you can highlight these lines up here. I'm going to highlight even the title, and go back to that same line spacing option and turn this off just for that, say none. And then hit OK, and boom, they all go back. So either go back, highlight those lines and go back, or you can click in front and hit the delete. That will fix it. And of course, the title should be in the center. So what could I do with the title? I click on the title, and I click on the center. This one is center right there. See it? Center text. Boom. I'll pause there for a moment. Make sure you're at that. Let's refresh. So we have our name, professor's name, class name, date that we put in. We put the name of the paper, and we centered it. We indented a ½ inch. Which ones are on the test? A ½ inch. This you should know. The indent first paragraph should be a ½ inch. You should know line spacing should be double. You should know that the margins are 1 inch all the way around. I can't think of anything else that's on the test. Oh, the text size is 12 point. I think those are 4 questions on the first quiz. When is the first quiz? Next week? It is next week. Wow. Okay, so it's coming quick. Okay. Let's scroll on down to page 2, please. Scroll on down to page. The next step is best to put on page 2. Why? Because we're going to turn it off on page 1. Okay, let's read real quick. So go to page 2. Make sure you're on page 2 here. Let's go here and let's read. create a header. Here, this is the one I want you to read here. Create a header in the upper right-hand corner that includes your last name followed by a space with a page number. Number all pages consecutively, or whatever that word is, with Arabic numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 inch from the top and flush with the right margin. Your instructor or other readers may ask you to omit the last name and header on your first page. Always follow the instructor's guidelines. And yes, I do not want it on the first page. Okay, so we're going to turn it off. So here we go. Make sure you're on the second page when we do this. You're on page 2. How do I know I'm on page 2? Look down here. It says page 2 of 2. It says it right here. Page 2 of 2. Okay, so here we go. We're going to put the header in. So to put the header in, we're going to go under Insert. Now you don't want header. I know it says header. But we don't use header. We're going to use the one that says page number. Much easier. Click on the page number right here, the first one. Go to where it says page number right there, the first one. And then you want at the top of page, in the pull down menu, it should say top of page, right side. Show number on first page. What did I just say? No, we're going to check that off. So make sure you turn it off because we're not going to have it on the first page. Again, you insert page number, top of page, right side. Turn this off. Everybody got that? Hit OK. Your number shows up. You're like, oh. But you got to put your last name in there. So how do you think you get your name in there? Double click on it till it turns blue. Put your cursor in front of the number. Hit the space bar and then type in your name, capital letter first, last name only. If you're having problems, put a space between there, yeah. Make sure there's a space. So your last name only, page number. When you're done, close it. That's a plus right there. I will come by and see if you're okay. Sure, everything is 12 point, even in your tables and things like that. So let's scroll. Let's put our table in between one of these paragraphs so we can see how we make mistakes. Okay, because you're going to make mistakes, and there's going to be a mistake right here. We're going to fix it. So here we go. So maybe after the third paragraph, I think I have 1, 2. Here's my third paragraph. Between my third paragraph and my fourth paragraph, I want to put a table here. You know, I'm writing along. I love computers. Computers love me, blah, blah, blah. You're writing about that. And then you say, well, you know, I need to take a laptop to my school or to do my homework in my class. So that might be a need. Need a computer on the go is what I would probably write. And then you would write laptop. So I'm going to put it here in front of there. I'm going to hit return. Okay, so the first problem you're going to run into is if I put a table here and you'll notice that the cursor is flashing a half inch, right? A half inch in. And the reason why is because we told paragraph breaks to be a half inch, but we don't want that. We want our table to go all the way across, So we need to get rid of that. Now you can hit delete and it goes over to the edge, and that's perfectly fine. You do not have to go back to the line spacing and change that. You can hit delete there and it's fine. But just keep that in mind that you don't want your table to start a half inch in. I want the tables to go all the way across the paper. Next, to insert a table, I'm going to go over here to the insert option, and this is the table insert window right here. If you remember that from last week when we were doing that, if I click down there, you'll notice you have my table things here, whatever you would call them. And I'm going to do only 2 columns and maybe 5 rows. So again, 2 columns, 5 rows. Everybody got that? I'm going to hit OK. Boom, you get your table in there. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to have my table where it says my needs assessment at the top, but I want it to be in the center of the table. You'll notice that there's 2 columns here for my table, but I only want 1 row all the way across with no columns on the first one. So what we're going to do is the term is merge. We're going to merge these together into one, and then we'll put our cursor in the middle, and we'll put needs assessment in there. Ready? Let's try that. Again, we're going to merge the first row. To do that, I'm going to select it. If you put your cursor all the way over to the left side here, you'll notice how my cursor is kind of pointing at the table. If you click there, you'll notice it turns it all blue. Just by clicking along the edge there. Once it's all blue, we're going to merge it together. To do that, we're going to go underneath the layout option here. And under the layout option here on the pull down menu, there is one that says merge cells. It's kind of in the middle there, the word merge, M-E-R-G-E. Do you see that? I'm going to merge that together by clicking it. Boom. Notice how it makes one big row. One big row. Next, I'm going to click inside that, and I'm going to type in my needs assessment. Remember, same font size. And then I can center that by going into the, remember this option right here? Boom. I think I showed you that. Do you remember the alignment in the table cells? I did review that with you, I believe, right here. So again, merge this together and center that. I'll pause for a minute and let me see. Computer that I can take to school. And you can put a period there. And what would you put over here? Laptop. How about that? What another need? Edit my digital photos. You can put a period if you want. What do we want? No, well, it could be what? I need to edit my photos. What would my Photoshop maybe or software? You could just put software. How about we just put software? You could list Photoshop if you want. Actually, you could. That would be nice because when I'm reading what you write, you know, then I can say, oh, you need. Then when I get to your very end, right, and you put in your price and you don't list Photoshop in your final price, I say, why didn't you list Photoshop in your final price if that's what you said you were going to do? I do write things like that. Believe me, I read every line of your paper and I write a nice big long comment. It's probably, it takes me few hours and hours. But I do read everything and I do comment. And I look at everything you write and compare it to what's in the table. That's the whole point. What's in the table should reflect what you write. We could put Photoshop if you want. Okay, so we edit digital photo. What else do we need? We're on the go. I need to connect to the internet. And we need Wi-Fi. And I would also love to have a wired connection. So I'd love to have an Ethernet port. How do you spell Ethernet? We haven't learned that yet. Beautiful. Thank you. Because there's certain places you don't want to be connected to Wi-Fi, is there? I don't know. Hey, yeah. Starbucks. I'm not doing my banking at Starbucks, am I? I hope you're not doing your banking at Starbucks. Okay, I need one more. Let's do one more, and then we'll color this up and take a break.
Are we talking like hardware or just overall?
No, this is just general. What would you use a system for, or how? Yeah. What's that? Gaming? Sure. So what do I need? Well, that's kind of a system requirement. How about we call it high-end system? How about that? Oh. There we go. Because we're going to do another table that's our system requirements, where I would list, you know, I need lots of RAM to edit my photos, and I would put RAM down, right? And things like that. Yes? Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is we'll do that in the next table. We're going to do that, but in the next table where we list, like, we need enough RAM or 16 gigabytes of RAM to play or whatever you want.
Maybe like a nice monitor.
Yeah, I would list that in the system requirements. Yeah, or maybe big screen. I would rate in the needs assessment. It's general,
Oh, okay.
right? Let's not be specific. The other one is more specific. And then the comparison table is very specific, and then your final is super very specific. So that because I want you to include software and stuff like that in your final price, and sales tax. Number one thing people miss and get 5 points off. Everything you miss, 5 points off. Number one thing people get off is they don't include sales tax in their final price. They say, oh, I bought it online. And you're still supposed to pay sales tax. You still are. Even Amazon, you're still supposed. If you get something on Amazon, you don't pay sales tax or something like that. You're still supposed to tell the state of California you bought that and pay your sales tax. You know you are. You are supposed to do that. Yes?
Can we technically put in gas money to drive to Oregon?
Sure. To buy it without sales tax? I guess so. If you want, I drove the.
Buy the gas in Oregon.
They probably still have federal gas tax there.
Maybe
Yeah.
we stole it. Stole it.
It's just
Uh-huh.
taste tax, you don't say. There you go, Brad.
If you're planning on like hired and Photoshop, yeah. I've never paid for
Whoosh. I'm recording the class. Don't say that out loud. What is your name again now? What's your ID? Okay, let's pause. Let's start. So the first one, you can cheat if you want, and I don't like it, but what I meant by that is you can make the top one a different color. If you look at some of them here, let's just look at them. Where are they at here? Where's the layout? Oh, design. You can see where they have different color bars with different colors and things. Don't change the size. But what I meant by that is you can go and here it is. You can have the top line. Here, let's just look at the samples. I'm sorry. That's what I was talking about. If you remember from last class, we were looking at that. You can use one of these default ones if you want. Something like this. You can have white text with that background. For a table, I'll accept that. Because it's a default inside the program. That's why. Again, that was under table design right here. But notice how it bolded the first line. I don't like that. You can use bold, but yeah, as long as you don't, if you want to emphasize something. It does say you can use bold and italic, doesn't it, in the MLA? What did it say? Where did it say that? Here it is. Use italics throughout your essay to indicate titles of longer works only absolutely necessary. Evidence temporary where works cited. Okay, that's okay. I'll accept the bold on the side. If you don't want that, you can highlight that and go back to normal. I don't like using the default. I'm gonna do mine. I'm gonna do my own. How about that? Let's do our own coloring instead of using the default one.
Would you put the needs assessment center in the space instead of
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get it in the center because this doesn't really work very well. See? You got yours to be in the center? Which one? The middle one, this one? No. Doesn't work for me. Maybe distribute? No, that's not it. I don't know. I can't get it to be in the center. It's okay. It looks fine right there. It's okay. Let's move on. Okay, let's change the color of the table. Again, under table layout, there is a shading option right here. This is the color of the shade, so we can go with how about a nice blue there? That looks pretty good. Then maybe down this side, we could give it a shade of maybe a yellow, and then this side could be, the assessment would be green. Look at that, Christmas colors. That way or a lot of them, they differentiate by this way where they have one color here, another color here, another color here, the same one of this, which was this, and then another color here. this one is the dark blue. There we go. Now let's make this one different. Let's make this one light blue. So sometimes it's like that. Why do they different colors so that it's easier to see across, right? It's much easier to recognize this is grouped together and this is grouped together when this is different than this. But if it's all the same color, it's hard to understand. It's not as easy to read. That's why they use color to help you. That's why these things up here have, see how they're colored one line and then not colored another line, to make it easier for you to differentiate the different rows from each other. Does that make sense? Okay, everybody know how to color their thing? You ready to move on to another one? I'm not going to do the system requirements. You can figure that one out. Let's go to how about comparison table? Because that one's a little bit more complex. Because we have to, in the comparison table, I want you to compare computer parts and things like that. Okay, so let's just go. We won't go through all of it today because we're probably going to not have enough time to go through pricing a Mac and then pricing a Windows and pricing this and pricing that. Plus, I have lectures I got to talk about as far as that. We will follow. There's a book that I go over. It has diagrams, and we got some videos, and then we watch some videos about which processor is better than the other. And don't just think the i7 is better than the i5. There's varying things in there. You know what I mean? That doesn't necessarily, just the I number doesn't necessarily mean it's better. Okay? It depends on a bunch of things, you know. How much cache is on there and things. So there's a lot to talk about still. But we're still dealing with tables. Let's just do a basic formatting for our comparison tables. Let's go down a little bit more. Down a little bit more. And then, let's make a new page. To make a new page, don't do this if you don't want to. Don't do boom, boom, boom like that. Everybody likes doing that, I know. If you want to make a new page, the best way to make a new page is to go underneath Insert Blank Page. Insert Blank Page. In fact, this is what I want you to do for your Works Cited. We'll do that right before we leave today. I'm sure hopefully we get to that. You want to make your Works Cited on its own page. Don't have it mixed with there. So blank page right there. Boom. I have a new page. Notice how it's not in the right spot. What do I need to do before I insert my table? Delete. So it goes over. Okay, so let's think about this for a moment. I'm going to have a list of, let's do like a Dell or a Windows system versus a Mac system. We'll list certain RAM, we'll list processor, but we're going to need probably one column that says processor, and then one column for Windows and one column for Mac. So that's 3 columns, and we'll just make up some. So I'm just thinking visually in my brain here. Let's go 3 columns, and let's do 6 tables for right now. I'm making one that looks like that. Okay, again, the first thing you want to do is merge the top row. How do I merge the top row? I click here and select it all. Go to your layout and say merge. Boom. Merge. Next, I'm going to click inside here and I'm going to type in comparison. Oh, compare, P-A-R-I-S-O-N. Comparison table. And then center that. Boom. Now I want you to specify the type of computer, not just say Windows computer. There's got to be 1,000 different Windows computers, 1,000 different Macs. Maybe if you're doing a 13-inch MacBook Pro, it should say 13-inch MacBook Pro. If you're doing a Surface Pro, 15-inch Surface Pro, it should say 15-inch Surface Pro. Okay, so think about that. Don't just do generic whatever. So let's go and find let's just go and let's just start. Let's do an apple.com. And let's see, what do we want? Mac. We want a MacBook Pro, and I want a buy, and I want a 13-inch MacBook Pro. There it is. Okay, so let me go back. So again, 13-inch MacBook Pro. Then over here, let's do a Google. What are Surface Pro sizes? Surface Pro. Microsoft Surface Pro. I have to sign up. Is that a computer, or is it just a tablet computer? Oh, they're pretty crappy. How about we do a Dell? Or no, what's Dell? What? HP. Let's do an HP here. Desktop printer. Where's laptops? Right here, and let's do laptops. What's a compatible one to a 13-inch? With this 15-inch, this one right here. Oh, they have a 14-incher. Do they have decent computers here? How about this HP ProBook? Because we use MacBook Pro, right? So I'd probably compare a ProBook here. Let's try this one. How about we do HP ProBook 640 4G notebook PC? And then paste that in there. Don't worry, we're going to go over all the parts. Again, you don't have to do double space. Here's what I would do. I would highlight my table comparison here and go over here to the spacing, and let's go back to 1.5. That looks better. You do not have to do double spacing in there because it adds way too much space in your pro. So I'm going to do the line spacing of 1.15 for this thing. Okay. So over here, first box, size, and then that's going to be what? 13-inch. And this was what? Did it say? Whoosh. I have to chat. I don't want to chat. What's the size of 14-inch? 14-inch. So this one's 14-inch.
What's the line spacing? 1.4?
I did 1.15. 1.15, yeah. So this would be screen size. Okay, what would other things do? How about we put in processor? And I know you don't know processor. Again, next class we'll be watching some videos of what processor is better than the other one and stuff like that. Right now we're just learning how to make a table. The whole purpose of what we're doing today is just for the table. Again, we will talk about RAM and what's better RAM and how to match RAM, right? Things like that. But for today, we're just focus on the table is what I'm trying to say. Don't think too much about parts. We will go over the parts. So what do we got here? We got what kind of processor? We got i7, 8th generation i7 right there. Boom. I'm going to copy that. That's Windows 1. Remember, when you paste, if you're copying from the internet and pasting, just paste text only. Boom, right there. So let's see, what was the MacBook Pro one? Let's see, MacBook Pro 13-inch. Oh, I haven't gone through this yet, but which one you want? How about this one? We'll select this one. We'll go through this one. So this is the 1.4 gigahertz Turbo Boost quad core. What does quad mean? four cores. What the hell is a core? We're gonna learn what a core is. Duo core is on the test. What's duo chord mean? Two. It's on the test. Write that one down. Here's your test cheat sheet. I asked what a duo chord. Duo core. Duo core. C-O-R-E. Dual core. That's right. Yeah, dual core. Two cores processor can work on how many things at a time? Two. The answer is two to that question. I don't know. Well, I can't remember the question right now. We'll remember it next class when we watch the video. There's actually a video we watch. And it'll explain the duo core to you in the video. You'll watch it next class. Then I'll tell you what then I'll remember in my brain what the question of the test is. Okay. It wasn't me. I went to San Francisco. I didn't get to eat any pizza and beer. I don't drink and drive. I would never, ever. That's why my friends always take me to a concert. You're a designated driver. Oh, wonderful. Literally, no. I am always the driver, which is okay. I like being responsible. Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's keep going. So we have processor. What do we want? How about we put RAM in? RAM. And then we can go to our web page. Where is it? We got this one is 8 gigabytes. Notice I'm just copying and pasting from the list here. That's all you need to do for your comparison. That's all. But when you write your text about which one you've chose, you should be able to describe why you chose that system over the other system. And part of when you're writing why you chose that system over the other one is you might list the parts, right? This one had more RAM than the other one, so on. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste that in. You know, I tried to change this, and I've been looking that up, how to change the preferences in Microsoft Word so it only pastes the unformatted text, because the default setting is HTML formatted, right? And I don't want that. I always want unformatted. And so why do they make me always have to go to paste special when I should be able to change the preferences of the software so it only does the one I want? Wouldn't you think so? There is no way. I mean, I've been looking and looking, searching. I've been on the Microsoft website. I have yet to find out how to change the default setting to the unformatted text. If somebody finds that, that would be, you know, I would thank you. Okay, where are we at? Oh, we got to do one. So that was the Mac. Where was the HP? How much RAM? Oh, look at that. 16 gigabytes right there. Right there. 16 gigabytes. Okay, and then the Mac has 512. Oh no, that's the Windows has the 512 SSD drive. What does SSD stand for? Solid state drive. We'll learn about that next class and what that means. Okay, and so that's this one. And then where was the Mac one? Ooh, look at this, only 256. Look at that. And that was what? This was hard drive? Or storage. We'll call that storage. Storage. Okay, so I got to the end of my table. And as you can tell, I don't have any more rows. So how do I add more rows to this? Again, if your cursor's flashing in the row right here, you can go over here to where it says layout, And in the layout option for the table, there should be one that says insert below. Do you see that? And boom, it'll make it below. So let's kind of end this madness right here, because we have another table we need to make that has no borders, and we need to do the works cited, and we're got only a half hour left in class. So you know what I mean. Let's end by putting the final price. That's another thing, most common mistake that people make is they don't give me a final price. And it's really hard to compare computers if I do not know what the final price is. I mean, price is probably one of the important things. In fact, when you're writing as well, you might want to include a budget. I really like to see a budget at the beginning of your writing, saying, you know, my rich grandmother's going to give me $2,000 for a computer, and I need to live with that price. I don't know, whatever. You should try and live with a budget. And be realistic when you're pricing your computer. Don't just go and say, you know, I would love to have the MacBook Pro 15-inch with, you know, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte hard drive. It's going to be $4,000 at least, $5,000, you know. Okay, let's put our price in there. So all you need to do is go over here to your thing, and this one is $14,999 is the Mac. Oops. Make sure you paste special. It's horrible. Paste. There we go. And this will be final price. And then what was the Windows one? Let's see. What is this one? Oh, there's a set. It's lined out. Oh, there's only one left. I gotta add the cart. I have to add all this other crap. There's only one left? Can they only have one computer? You would think these people know how to make computers. How can they only have one left? Okay, so again, the things that you might write in your paper would be, you know, well, you know, this one, they're very close in price. They're only $100 difference, but this one has a bigger hard drive space, right? It has more RAM, and this chip probably looks better than this one. I don't know. This is only i5, but i5's not too bad compared to i7, so I don't know. It doesn't tell me how many quads are in this, but I don't know. I would have to look this up. If you want to look up your Intel, there is a chip website. What is it called? Anybody know the Intel chip website? What it's called? ARC. That's it. What was it called? ARC? Yeah. There is a website if you want to look up chips, and it's where's my, oh look, there's Turturo, look, and that's the let's go to Google, and that's Intel ARC. There it is. And so you can go look up the processors, and you can say which one is better than the other one. Most are what are we looking up? Core processor, and this was the eighth generation Core i7. Yeah. No, the one from the Windows one was 8th generation this one, and it's all quad 4. Depending on which one you get, it's probably this one at the top, because they don't specify which one. Yeah.
Well, shouldn't they do that then, so you kind of know what you're really getting?
Yeah, well, it's HP we're talking here.
I don't know. That's a good thing about it.
That's not a good thing. HP is, you know, they're pretty much going out of business. Yeah, give feedback. Yes, you suck. No, that was Intel. I'm sorry. So again, there is a website if you want to look up the processors from Intel. It's called arc.intel.com. No. Smart Cache, I have no idea what that is. But okay, what was the processor for the Mac one? It was an i5. i5. Did it say what generation or didn't? It was 8th generation. This one. And it didn't it have like 1.7 or something? 1.4. I don't even have it listed here.
Somebody's lying.
Maximum turbo frequency is 3.9. So like 3.9 and probably on this would be so
Right
that's
there,
about
down.
This one?
Second to the bottom too. Right there. Up.
This one? Yeah. Yeah.
Thing's a hunk of junk.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a very good processor. It's okay.
$100 gets a better one.
It's okay. Okay, let's color our table real quick here, and then we'll move on to the last table with no borders. No borders. So let's finish this one. Let's color our table. Again, how I might color this is I might give a color at the very top here that is, you know, plain or whatever. But then I might color these down, the columns, a certain color. Like this MacBook down, because they're all kind of related to each other, right? Like that, make this one color and then make this one a different color. Because this all goes together, right? You want to color this down, not like a cross like the other one, right? So that I can recognize this is all together. That's the color recognizes. And this is all together, right? And this is kind of all together. So instead of doing it across like I did with the other table, the needs assessment, I would go down columns, at least color-wise. What do you guys think? Yes? Should it be like that? Okay, let's do the final table. Okay, so the final table, you should include software, any peripherals you might buy, especially with the Apple, because with the Apple has this the USB-C thing, right? And so if you want to plug in an old USB thing, you have to have the adapter. You should include that in your price. Maybe a pen if you want one of those. If you got the Surface Pro things and you want the little thing that you can draw with, right? Some of those have little drawing that are maybe fun with that. Yeah. Or, you know, so you should think about all the things you need for your system that you would use. And that's what you would write about. Maybe a printer if you wanted a printer. I don't know, most of us don't use printers anymore. We pretty much submit our homework online, right? You don't even print out papers and give them to English class anymore, do you? Do you still print them out and give them to English teacher, or do they? Do you?
Yes, it's hard copy.
They hard copy, like that teacher really thinks that. They give it to their assistant, probably. So, make somebody else read it. You would think they'd make you turn it in on Canvas, huh? Do you turn it on Canvas too and print it out for the teacher? Both?
We do it on the, what do you call that website? Where they check you out for plagiarism.
Oh,
Turnitin.com.
Turnitin.com. Okay, what else you might need? Printer?
System, for system accessories, if you don't have an external hard drive already, or like you need
An external hard drive would be a good purchase as well, especially for backup, right? You never want to leave all your photos that you have in your life on your phone or on your laptop, right? What happens if your laptop gets stolen? It breaks. Apple will say, oh, you take it back to the Apple store and they say, oh, we'll get your photos back for $500. And you're like, why am I going to pay $500 to get my photos back? But they're my wedding pictures. It's still $500, no matter if it's your wedding pictures or not.
The new one that I came across with using my new Dell and my Apple was a CD reader. They don't have those.
Oh, a CD reader, a DVD reader. Right? I have two of them plugged into USB, but of course it's a fat USB. I would have to get the adapter to the USB-C for that if I was going to buy the Mac thing. So looking at ports is kind of, if my son wants to buy the, you know, he has all kinds of peripheral things he plugs into his laptop. He wants to have real USB things in his laptop. Okay, let's make a table. Uh-oh. I don't want to do that. I'm going to click under my table. D would write a little bit more, probably, blah, 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 blah. I love computers. Computers love me. I would always want to buy a Mac because I love Steve Jobs, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And don't have extra spaces like that in there. I was just going a little nuts on there. Let me, maybe an extra space there. Okay, last table, again, is one that doesn't have borders, but I'm going to make it with borders, and then before I'm done, I will turn off the borders. How about that? I'm going to have 3 columns and 5 rows, and then you can figure out. So again, I'm going to insert a table, 3 columns, 5 rows. Just like we did before, I'm going to merge the top row. Put in final computer purchase of system, I'm sorry, system. Center that up. Like, cool, you ready to keep going? Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of merge the top row here, this one, and I'm going to put the name of the system I'm going to buy. And so I'm going to put in, let's say I love this MacBook Pro. And let's center that. You do not have to go through and list all the parts again. You've already done that in the comparison table. You can take this date, this number right here that's here, and you can bring it down here. So I'm going to say base price, and then put in the total here. Next, I need to list my adapters. What are the adapters on there? If you go, oh, we're not here. Here they are. There's the power adapter. Where's the extra stuff? Well, they have extra stuff here you need to buy. I think after you add the bag. I need the magic mouse. Yes. Here we go. Here's the adapter. I need AppleCare for sure. You want to buy AppleCare. So let's put that in. Make sure you pay special. And how much was that? You would think I'm spending this much money on a computer that would give me a warranty, don't you think so? I have to pay extra for a warranty. Oh, let's add some rows in there. Maybe I don't need this column. I was thinking I needed this column for a reason, but maybe I didn't need it. If I didn't need it, what's that? Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Let's leave it there for now. We can always remove it later. What else was I buying? I was buying the adapter, right? Oh, this one, USB-C to USB adapter. Look at that. Need that for sure. Oh. How much was it? Okay, I'm just going to type it in. And then I don't know, if you have software, you should put it in there and all that wonderful stuff. The other thing I want you to do, so let's put in sales tax. Make sure you put sales tax in there. And let's just make that up right now. I'm just going to do 200. And then, oh, let's put in one more row here. Where's my rows? Row below. There we go. And then we'll put in total cost. Okay, so for the prices on the side, I want to align them to the right side so that the zeros all add up nicely like you would on a bill, right? You've all got a receipt before from a store. So what you want to do is you want to highlight this column here, and you want it to be on the right side like that. Okay? And then total cost, I don't know. I didn't add it all up, but let's just say it's $2,300. There we go. So something like that. Do not add color to this table. We'll do another one when we get to pricing and comparing and stuff, but you get the idea, right? You don't have to list all the stuff. You make sure you list in one so that I can look here. The most important thing is I can see what this one is, and then I can come up here and say, oh, here's the parts that you were going to purchase, right? So the price that the final computer should match the one of them in the comparison. That's the reason why you have a comparison, right? One of them should, and then you can, and I can see all the pieces there. Does that make sense? Everybody cool with that? Okay, let's turn the table or the borders off. Again, we're going to click here, and you're going to go to where it says table design, where it says border styles. You're going to say none. Where's none? Oh, here it is, borders. No, over here. No border. So make sure in the final table you turn off the borders. There we go. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Probably should get rid of this row here, huh? We should have done that before we did that. How do we get rid of this row here? Well, if you click on it, you could go to the, how do we get rid of it? Delete. Shift cells left. There we go. Boom. Uh-oh, but look what it did there. Uh-oh, that's not good. Uh-oh, look at that. Uh-oh, how can we fix that? Oh, yeah, but that's still not all the way to the edge. Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm faking this here. Okay, whoosh. I faked it. Okay, now turn off the borders. Oh, I only had one row selected. Select the whole thing. Boom. Okay. Oh, that doesn't look very good because this is all the way over here. My brain's not going to be able to do that. How about if we take these ones here and we align them to the right? We can do that maybe. How about that? Would that look better? This looks kind of goofy though still, doesn't it? No, but that doesn't look good either. I'd like all the zeros to be lined up. That doesn't look good. How about we cheat and make it smaller and then align the whole thing to the center? No, that didn't work. Can we select the whole thing and line it to the center? Ooh, look at that! A+. Go with something like that. I don't know. See what you can do to make the final table look beautiful. I don't know. See what you can do. I don't know. The whole part of this making that is so I know you know how to turn off the borders. That's the whole point. And make it look good. It looks nice like that, doesn't it? Yeah. Somewhat. Okay, it's saved so far in case we crash. We're almost done. Last thing we need to do is what? Works cited. Make sure your works cited is on its own page. To do that again, we already saw how to do that. You go underneath insert, blank page, blank page. Here we are. You can center, I'm going to type in works cited, and I'm going to hit return, and then I can center that. The reason why I hit return is so it's on its own column, or on its own thing. There we go. What is works cited? Well, if you are writing a paper, you must have done some kind of research. In this case, we probably did some research on the Apple website or on the HP website. So you need to list those websites where you went and got the data. To do that, you need to cite what's called citing of your references or wherever you got the data. So we're going to do the Apple website and we're going to do the HP website. Let's look at how to do the works cited. If you go to the page here, the general format, they do have a works cited option somewhere. In Text Citations Basics, boom, click on that. MLA format. So you can cite automatically right here, but let's just read about it first and see how it is. Any MLA style referring to the works of others in your text is done by parenthetical citations? Is that what that is? This method involves providing relative source information by parentheses. No, we're not doing that. We just need to list the stuff at the end. Where is it? Here we go. That's print. We're doing websites. We don't go to the library and read anymore, do we? Nobody knows. Did you even know? I can't believe they haven't closed all the libraries in the world yet. Did you? Where is the web page one? Citing non-print or sources from the internet. With more and more scholarly works published on the internet, you may have to cite sources you find in a digital environment. While many sources on the internet should not be used for scholarly work, some web sources are perfectly acceptable for research. When creating an in-text citation for electronic film or internet research, remember that your citation must reference the source of your work's cited page. It should include what? Include text of the first item that appears in the works cited correspond to the citation, author, article name, website name, file name. Do not provide paragraph numbers or pages unless you must list a thing. Okay, that didn't really help. How about this? We go up here to this box and we're going to paste in the web page. How about this? Right here. Oh, no, that's the ARC. I'm not there. This one, HP Store. Oh, but it has all this other Ajax stuff in there. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, oh. Whoosh. Whoosh. I guess we can try it, I guess. I don't know if this is going to work. I got a bunch of data in there. Let's try it. Where did it go? Do I have to sign up? Select? Where? Do we have to put in a date? What's the date today? 17 September 2019. HP. The problem is this address has all this other crap in it, but there you go. We can copy that right there. Go to our paper, and remember, paste. And then what part needed to be italic? Was it the store name, right? This part? Like that. There we go. What's another place where you can cite it? What, EasyBib, right? Yeah. Anybody try EasyBib? There's an EasyBib. So this was from, where did we get, this was from that website for the, for the MLA format. That was this one. Another place you can do it. Oh, this is called citationmachine.net. Whoosh, look at that sounding name. Another one is called EasyBib. There it is, EasyBib. There we go, EasyBib. Let's do the Apple one there. So go to Apple Store, highlight your store here, boom. Go to EasyBib. You want to do what? Create citation. I don't know what format I'm going in, but I'm going to go with this format. There is no author. MacBook Pro. I think you need accessories. Apple. Oh, let's put in the date. Make sure you put in the date. What was it again? 17 September 2000. Whoosh. 2019 already. Whoosh. Complete citation. And then you can copy this. I have to sign up. Oh, I lost that. Did I keep it in memory? No. I lost that one. You get the idea though, right? Try it. You just need to go through the steps. EasyBib. I'll try it again. EasyBib. EasyBib. Seemed like the other one was easier, right? From the MLA one. I think they want you to pay for this one. Is that why? Where is it? Continue. No. 17 September 2019. We don't have an author. Complete citation? Okay, how do I get it then? I can see it, but copy in text citation? Or is it this one? I have two of them here. They're both the same. But every time I click on that, it just goes there. Is there a way I can just copy this? Copy citation. There's a pull down menu. They don't make it easy. They want you to pay. They want you to pay. How do I paste? Paste special. And then which one was highlighted? This needs to be italic right there. There we go. Everybody cool with that? Try one of those EasyBibs. I'm sure you can figure that out. Save your template as a Word document and send it to yourself so you can write your paper. I gave you all the ways to do it. You just need to finish writing. You got 2 weeks or a week and a half, not even 2 weeks. You got 1 week and a half